Okay, so as you can see, my eyes are a little puffy. Uh, so yesterday I got a special delivery. Well, it's not the first time. I thought I was ready for things like that, but when you actually have a whole city after you, it's not easy, let me tell you. Doesn't matter how meditate the proper way, reflect source. When there's really heartless, when I say sometimes monsters, am I really nice? Am I really mean or nice? I think I'm nice because they have no scruples. They continue. They don't care if there's karmic consequences, if there's some kind of. They have no. Like I'm telling you, I think they're fearless. But on TV, according to what I see, it seems like people are almost pleading with Trump to be nice. They're trying to do compromises, but they don't know they should be doing them with me. This is the thing is nobody knows where it's like, you know what I mean, when somebody tries to analyze something and they can't find something wrong with the computer or someone tests for health reasons. They don't get it that evil just does not pay. They tell people, they teach people in schools, don't do evil, don't don't drive your water vehicle. Police will get you. Everything, the police will get you. The government will get you. And they were saying something, and I always suspected this on something that someone is collecting money because of a health reason or age, and they say there are people investigated that if you get $10 or $5 over what you deserve, you get like there's people that make almost 100,000 a year just collecting, making trouble for people that are under government assistance. And I believe that. Obviously, I had problems with that all my life. But this is the thing. Never mind that they exploit when you work. They promise you real work, but even real work, which is already a slave system. So all this to say, first of all, I already see a pattern. And I don't know why. I don't remember exactly if I did the whole transaction thing to make something be paid, like internally, like what you need a cashier's check. So I keep getting letters of checks from the government. They're not big checks, but the point is they're checks, all right? And if I cash them, I would get in trouble. Now, that's the first thing, I think. But because I don't even understand what they do, because they say one thing, but they do another. Just like when I was doing my income tax last year, I had to do so much work, and then they justified that they never sent me the GST by saying, "Oh, you didn't fill out your income tax right." But it's all lies. Everything, they're corrupted everywhere. I would, if I'm followed and tortured and attacked by secret vehicles, police vehicles, I don't know why I didn't expect this. Like yesterday, I should have been more worried, but I don't know now if I got contaminated or my apartment, because this first I got a doorbell. I go, okay, even if that would be a special delivery, I'll get it back at the post office or whatever. But no, I hear the doorbell ring once. I don't know if that movie was called the Postman Never Rings Twice. So maybe that was a special delivery, but it didn't say. So I hear the doorbell once. I didn't answer, obviously. And if it was something like seriously bad or seriously plotted, it would have been at my door. A little bit longer than it would have taken someone to get in and then come and knock on my door. But not long after, I hear a knock on my door, and it's a neighbor, and it's one of the people I know many years in this building. And I'm not close friends, but let's just say I'm friendly. But there's been always things within the years, not like the other person that I said attacked me. So I won't say any details because, again, like I said, they could do whatever they want to me. Maybe even when they crucify me, chop me up on camera. But I am not allowed even saying someone's or saying that they're hurting me. That's why the police goes, shh. So police, yes, I'll be quiet. Of course, the police is mad at me. I mean, if you're able to follow someone and torture him for having asked for help, you think you wouldn't get mad if they report you? Duh, I should have realized this even without them telling me to shut up. Or even actually the person from Station 26, the PR, they don't like it when you film the police. I said, okay, they don't like it. And she was a police officer too, obviously. I said, why should I like it being followed for no damn reason? So I've already had these conversations and I've already had emails with Station 26. But where could I find? Where could I show you? No, they erased all my emails. And now they're making sure I don't have another email that I use often because they said, oh, this has to be transferred there or else you could lose these ones. Like, give us more information so we'll erase this email and the other ones. But whether they do or not, like I said, I am a guinea pig right now. So yesterday I go answer the door, but I didn't open it, obviously. You think I opened my door? No way. So I said, who is it? And nobody answered. And then for a while after, oh yeah, it's me. I found this letter. I don't know where I found it. They gave it. And it was like kind of slimy. I don't know why I opened it. I was so stupid. I probably will have who knows what kind of contamination, but I used gloves and I used a visor just like in those hazmat suits, and I put something on plastic. Now I'm even worried about, but the thing is, I felt it through the gloves that that letter was, So I saw it was a letter from the government. So then I called the agency, and they said that they're going to keep sending the checks until I give them a number to do it through like a cashier's check, to do it through the intercase, So this is the thing. Like I said, they will use any excuse. Like I said, one day you're checking for the smoke detector. Never mind that before they used to come and break it before the police was mad at me, Apopex. But now when they come for a smoke detector check, and they even give me like they contaminate something, and I'm like, just like my my PlayStation game. And obviously, if you ask them, they'll say I'm crazy. Now they have motive. They're on camera, the police. But if I say they do sneaky tricks with contamination of mail, electronics, bust my electronics, that I said 30 police cars. I don't know. It was more than 10, that's for sure. But they just keep passing, and my phone goes like, like as if you're changing it, as if something you've never seen, because it's not something that you could do, changing channels on a TV or changing the pattern of a phone. It was something internal, meaning it was something like, that's it. It was something like an EMP. I don't know what the heck, but this is my life. The fact that it's happening, or that it started in 2020, the fact that now you see Fauci and a lot of other people with doing weird things, like the CEO, those were the two biggest that I saw. Fauci getting grilled about a family getting arrested. But what does Fauci have to do that with? He's guilty for so much more. Maybe creating and spreading the virus, that's another thing. Again, how would you prove that? So the fact, even internal emails, the fact that things like that, they wanted to start, and Rebel News is trying to grill the Canadian government. Well, one time they said it even at Rebel News. We asked them, why are Chinese people, you have on newspapers, or I don't know if there was even a site, the Canadian government, they were hosting the Chinese military here in Canada. You probably don't know this, but go to Rebel News, just punch that in. They might still have it. I think they do. They're very daring. Rebel News Canada, or Rebel News International, I think it started in England. They're very daring, and they bring you things that usually you wouldn't see. And usually they're fair, but like, again, if I don't want to get into that, because like I said, I get in trouble for things that I have to report. Imagine the things I don't have to. So, because like I tell people, I don't have a nationality. Like I say, the whole world is equally not functioning. It's equally evil. Doesn't matter if you're right, left, Chinese, North Korean, Russian, Ukrainian, Iran, Israel. For me, they're just a different side of the same coin. I'm not saying the people. I'm saying the armies that are severe. It's like Iran before, from what I saw. From something Hughes, this guy that Chase Hughes, that he used to work for the American Army, Special Forces, I don't know, and he used to train people like CIA type. And like, again, every time I see these people but I see it's like I see almost like a kid that's being spiritual and that's glowing, and I see more confidence and more assertiveness, because when you're spiritual, look at me, what's been done to me. Never mind that even if they wouldn't be doing all these secret attacks, I'm always like getting sick. This is my body. It's been like that since I was young. And never mind that some things got a little better. But the point is, they don't need to torture me like this to have the effects. All they need to do is not help me. Already the fact that I'm scared to go to the hospital. But maybe I'm realizing they're hurting me because they know that even though I have chronic fatigue, sensitive health problem, which is chronic, but it's not. I mean, everybody suffers in a certain degree, and they say when you get older, the symptoms gets less intense. And I was lucky about that. But they're rejuvenating the symptoms. They're reactivating, not like when I meditate spiritual things. They're reactivating my suffering, my allergies, or whatever you want to call them, reactions to the environment. That's more precise. But I'm not feeling well. And you should have seen this guy insist that I open the door without any special gear, meaning I told him I'm not dressed, but it wasn't true. It's not that I lied. Again, it was a white lie because I didn't want to say, I think you've been paid by someone or coerced. One of the two or both. Just like that a certain lady from the building that I sort of know, and I try to be on friendly terms, but there's no, when someone is bent on hurting you, or they're programmed or whatever, there's no compromising. There's not knowing when you're going to expect an attack. And it's not about being like right now, for me, I forgive instantly, even attacks like with the police. But then again, they shouldn't get mad when I say things like, oh, you know what I would have felt like doing? No kidding. If I'm tortured every day, police, you think I feel good about it? What would you feel in my place? And I keep saying that almost every video that I report them. Now, if people think the police wasn't behind that yesterday, like I feel like going to my window and looking at all the cars that are faced, not the light, they're faced like, I could show you, but what does the people think? Oh, the people park like that. They don't want people taking down their license plate or being curious why they're in that building. And that building has something to do with a government type. I don't know if it's in even psychiatry or something like that, but it's sick the way the world has become. Like I said, I seem almost like as if I'm at war, psychic wars, that if I'm doing some kind of witchcraft. No, absolutely not. I want to use that at least, like Ashayanaddin says, to have some kind of like, God, what should I do? Like, can you stop them from me? Yes, I do say that, but I don't say it. It's not the way you might think. All I want to do is protect myself, and rightly so, even though they say in Canadian law, you're not allowed defending yourself. And it's ridiculous that the horrors that we're living in Canada, again, it's not that I want to pick on Canada, but when they start behaving like this, when a whole police force with they deputize almost everybody in the city to torture someone, can you expect good things to happen out of this? I don't think so. The same thing with Trump. You take away booze from the shelves. You don't want to compromise with him. Yes, he's a bit of a bully, but how do you handle that bully? Like me, I'm not a bully, police, but the karma is. So the more you hurt me, I don't want to be repeating all the time in this video. I just want to tell you what I lived yesterday. So the guy wouldn't leave, right? And I knew that it was a legit letter, but it's not really a legit letter because, again, I'm having trouble remembering, but I started seeing things, and again, I don't know why I don't remember, but it's scary, and it's not about Alzheimer's. I remember things that I shouldn't remember. It's not that I forget all the things I should remember. No, in this particular case, like just sometimes, like I go out and I forget to bring my phone or a tablet, but they both got broken. Now I had to buy new ones, and like I said, I'm always at risk that now if I film, they have extra machines, extra gadgets to blow up any phone, blow it up, meaning is do a type of jam that's going to destroy my electronics. So this is not a life that you want to have, trust me. And you might say, well, okay, so we won't piss off the government or the police. Yes, but we shouldn't be living in fear this much. And every law that they put is going to be to further do what they're doing to me, to everybody, or similar. So this is what I'm saying. The world is not going in the right direction. And the fact that we might have to get down and dirty, even physical, because me, I already am there, because they kind of like before they were like people out of the blue, open the door, what the fuck? Nobody insists on going to somebody's place without, and even when they had a warrant, of course, the warrant was the biggest crime, that I shouldn't have opened the door, but I still would have got killed because they had written on the warrant, we could kill him to bring him in. So this is where that my life is forfeit, maybe, probably, because if they're willing to do these things every day, it's not maybe directly taking away my freedom or making me die. But with that letter, I took all the precautions, and I don't know now, I feel different symptoms. It could be other ones too. But I know that even yesterday, at one point I said, no, it's not this. I wasn't sure if it was something contaminated when I bought outside. I usually don't buy things outside. I don't know why I did. Like I said, everything that I eat, and sometimes they come up with the little pocket of commercial that only if you're hooked up to the internet with your smart TV should it do that. And it does that with me, and it comes out often. Kitchen nightmare, yeah, everything I buy is contaminated. My mail makes me ill with a glove. If I hold it long enough, I get like a heart attack. But you might say, you're crazy. Would you think that I'm crazy with what's happening in the world and that it started 2020 and I have video proof of police up my arm? Like, I mean, come on. Does it take a genius to figure out? I have vehicles all over, STM, fire trucks, ambulances, Post Canada trucks, exactly. I have, UPS, any kind of truck always like tagging me. Garbage trucks, cleaning trucks, but they're not like once in a while I'll see one in one day. You might say, well, it's normal, even if they're not in your area 24/7 when you go out to cities. No, I'm talking about following me like little doggies, like those people cleaning under. And of course, I can't film them anymore because one of those trucks could and may and probably will have a jammer to destroy my truck. This is how much they love me, right? And that's how much, when I asked the police for help, this is the help I got. Can you imagine? Do you want this way? And it's not saying it's all the officers. No, it's the people enabling. Even though it started with someone making that report, I was listening to 911 because I said I'm recording 911. And also an officer that I was insisting that they help me when they did clearly not want. And they were like always saying, no, who cares? If you're sensitive to the pesticide, too bad. You're imagining it. How can you be? It's not like pesticide is not like an alien spaceship, that you have to have a special interest. I was sensitive to pesticide, which is something that makes everybody ill. It's like saying, even what they do, the Illumi commercial, that I think it's Illuminati. I don't even know if it's honest, that natural thing. When you see too much commercials, you start wondering if it's really a natural system to help people. So what she says, so we try to give you advice about pesticides and this, and they mentioned pesticide. So when you say you're sick because of pesticides, people should believe you and try to help, not put more or get the whole police to give you other products and inject your body. So what's happening to me is just a monstrosity. So this is what like I said, whether they booby trap the door, now if I put heavy, they come to my door and they deliver products to make me ill. And this is what I say, what do I do? I don't see any help coming. I don't see any answers. I don't even know now. It's a long story, but I don't want to tell you the details because it's not relative. It's just the thing is, I'm trying to tell you that even now before going out, I'm dreading going out to buy water, food, milk, whatever, because first of all, I know it's going to be contaminated, but because how would they do that? They have to contaminate for people. They're not going to be there and ask me, what do you want to buy? And yeah, they might have scans of what I buy, and they have, with cameras, they could see what I buy more often. So I have to buy things that are different at different places every time I go out, because there's patterns with buses and metros. If you don't have a car, there's only so many places you could go in a semi-comfortable way, especially when the weather still varies, and in the afternoons it goes to 30 with the humidity. So I dress with plastic. Can you imagine with all? So this is my life. So people, just to remind you, if you ever heard me say, I might pray that someone sends a bomb on Montreal, if I'm not crazy, which it's most likely that I'm not, right? I'm trying to say it from and even if I would be, it still could be that they do this to you, because this is, if people haven't seen that the world is cruel. So, again, I invite people to eat the products they already contaminated before I bought them, like when I bought them. So, but never mind the invitations or a polygraph or them. Why do they answer the question? Why are they there? Why are they not? What kind of delivery of mail has no UPS or no registration that you have to sign for it, and it gets delivered at your door? And I'm not saying the guy's the toughest guy in the building. I don't see that, because for me, size and character has no bearing on if you're good or bad. So did the guy give me attitude before, the guy that knocked on my door? Yes. But like I said, unlike with a girl, which I have no chance of even raising my voice or even questioning, if I get in trouble, even with someone that is like quite husky and younger than me and healthier than me, that even if we'd have an altercation that would be caused by him, it should be that I have the right to defend myself. So if I would have been any type of rudeness, first of all, anything I do, even if it could be pretended in the future, I get accused of being dangerous. So just imagine if I would ever get into some kind of argument, but it wouldn't happen with me, not unless if the person doesn't leave me a choice. Like the police, they don't leave me a choice but to make videos and even say, well, look, if you come near me, I'll defend myself. Even with police with guns, what could I do? If they have me, if what they've done to me in the past, when I let them grab me, they hurt me. Even though they had a warrant, it was illegal, or meaning it was immoral at least. Let's not go with that. Because legal, that's why they're making laws. They're making legal laws even to, you're not allowed this, you're not allowed having money, you're not allowed being free, you're not allowed walking here, you're not. So this is what I mean is nothing that's happening makes sense. Everybody should be every day on the street, to Parliament, to Palais de Justice, saying we want the government to stop making these laws, to stop abusing innocent citizens. We want the government to stop making these things with the internet and all these extracurricular activities, destroying books, but that's big companies. It's not really the government, but that's how they do it. Or this guy was saying it, and I might put it on a post. This guy was saying about how they're doing things with something to do with meaning they already have committees that if somebody gets hooked, whether in a whatever sinking with a machine or even implant, they're not human anymore, so they don't have rights. You understand what I'm saying? Almost like somebody that comes from space, they have to experiment on them. The government has always been like that, and people thought Canada was exempt or nicer than the States. From what I'm seeing, at least in the last 10 years, Canada is a lot worse than the States. So there you go about that freedom, brave and free. No, we're scared and controlled. Well, not me in particular. At least the scared part, I'm not. But that's what got me into trouble. So if you're a bit fearless, or if you're daring enough to assert your divine nature and your sort, they're gonna make sure they know. Yeah, you're tough. Well, we're gonna make sure that you suffer where you live now, in your meat sack prison, not the prison that we're gonna find reasons to eventually put you in if you even try to escape or defend yourself by our constant torture. This is what I'm living every day. So I could tell you right now, if I'd go in my gut, and if you would be in my place, you would wish the world to end, or you would wish very bad things to happen to the people doing this. If I would imagine them in my place, I would not, if asking for help, even if it was in a bit of like the way they see arrogant or too assertive or questioning the system. That's basically what I did. I asked, and I sort of recorded part of it, at least the sound, and questioned that they weren't really trying to help me. Like, I confronted them with that. What a mistake. Of course, now I wouldn't do it, but now I have to do it sometimes because, like I said, now they're sending me checks and they're putting money in my bank. According to the letters I got, how could I get both? And what would happen if I cash in both? Meaning is if I get one through the bank system, and the other one I would cash it myself. Don't you think I would be labeled a criminal and jailed? Even if it's not even money that you could live a week on. So meaning, this is what I mean, how they entrap you. And I just explained how you're always checked when you're on any government assistance program. So you're checked, and there's people that make a salary bigger than what you're making, a lot bigger, even if you have double pension or even if you worked all your life. And if you do the research, I saw it on the internet. Now, why wouldn't I record and show? Because even my phone, I found out, even with gloves, is contaminated. And I got fooled and tricked. I thought, okay, some of them are closing. No, they weaponize most pawn shops, or they access them and weaponize them as I go to them. All things about used phones in the area, they all got locked down. They were all closed, the stores. You know, like the whatever, something sell, And there was one open, and the guy was such a good actor, but by the time I figured out, I had already paid. And it wasn't an amount like $1,000 or $500, but it was, let's just say, I got a couple of $100 hustled. I get hustled. Why? Now I have the product, but it's either malfunctioning, which it is, and it's also causing me a little bit like the mail yesterday. That letter, I had rubber gloves, a visor, plastic all over, and I'm sure I got extra, some kind, it was moist, something was wrong with that letter. Never mind the symptoms, even touching it with thick gloves. And I'm not talking about little skinny vinyl gloves. I'm talking about those washing dishes gloves. Can you imagine what the Montreal system or government, you think after 600-700 videos And the MPs, I actually send them the videos, Le Cap, the Protecteur de Citoyen, Police Deontologie, Anthony Housefather. All these people have these videos. They have my channel. They have a few interesting videos. Like, nobody calls. Nobody sends an investigator. Nobody says, don't worry, we saw the evidence. We're going to look into it if we could tell the police to back off. Nothing, not even a reassurance, not even an acknowledgement. Just like, okay, yeah, but I don't think they would do that. You're crazy. Even the groups that are supposed to help, that seem kind when I talk to them, once I showed them my channel, they even before I showed them, I don't think the police would do that. No, no. If they're torturing you, it's a good thing. It's in your imagination. You seek help, like my brother said. But the fact is that I show all the proof I could. I tell people, why don't you taste the product? It's sealed. I don't have a system here of packaging. So if I tell you right now, come and eat a project that, and I could show you now, but I don't want to get into that because again, I would be doing, because I have a conscience. I don't want people that sell that, even if they're a big box store. I don't want to cause even the system itself that it's corrupt. I tell people, if there's a real emergency, still call the police, because basically that's how I say how they sleep at night. They still do their job right in some ways. And there are white hats, like just like you see in the States, questioning Fauci, questioning other procedures with companies that make too much money and they don't give a raise to their... That's the basic corruption. People get impressed with that. And I saw that I got some of them over 1,000 views when I don't even get 50 views on even a short. So some people are like amazed at the disclosure that's happening, not only for aliens, the disclosure for all the corruption, the Epstein files, the pandemic, or like some people call it, you know what, plandemic. But the thing is, I still strongly believe that it's a sensation. It's almost like when I tell you how I feel with these attacks. It's a sensation that I'm not even a natural chosen. Again, you might think, all I want is you. Honestly, it's not like in the moments that I'm triggered, or it's not like a character thing. Never mind with being bitter. And sometimes I make remarks that look as if I'm taunting the police or saying, haha, you follow me, but look, I should have done this. I know seriously that I shouldn't do that, but I do it because I get the torture despite of how I behave when I report what they're doing. But they told me that I shouldn't, but they never gave me an offer. What do I get in return? Nothing. They have to follow and torture me, and I can't report it. Well, legally I could, but they still do a lot of things to slow down my videos, hurt me where I live, can't open my windows. That's the price that they increase because I report. If I would have reported, I don't know. Because all I know is that when I took down all my channel, or one of them, half of my channel last time, I think 2 years ago, I took down half of all the videos I erased. Or some, I don't know what happened, but it's stupid of me to do that. Let's just say it wasn't a thing that they didn't take it as a sign of compromise. They took it as a sign of weakness, and they are bullies. And they have no compassion, exactly like what they're talking about. Even Inspire C, she's so cool. She's so quite popular, beautiful lady. And even though maybe, it's not that I don't agree with her theory, some things seem far-fetched, even with aliens and like me, it's not saying that I say the Anunnaki, the Metatron, and all. It's not that I have proof, but there is a system behind the veil, behind the interdimensional connection. There are things that I sense that, along with intuition, it's like that Trinity. When it matches on 3 spots, it's pretty much, that's how I believe in something. It's not a belief, and it passes 3 checks. And it's almost like that thing, the law of attraction. There's 3 methods. I don't want to get into that because I do it in a way spontaneously. Even the Shayanadine Keylontic geometry teachings, it's like, yes, they did help me activate, but now never mind that even if I would do them in an organized way. But that, again, if you take too much structure, you take away the flow. When you meditate, some things you have to get the basics of understanding. Like Dr. Robert Gilbert, he was amazing, and he's the original person that teaches similar to Ashaya Nadine. But look to her teachings, look at her videos, they can only do good. And now it's 30 minutes. So again, but the thing is, I want to tell people, I seek compromise. I waited, every time I wake up and I do whatever activity or video, I'm always smoother and calmer because, like I said, even when I had weird dreams that I was the first time I caught COVID, they were never, every time I'm in a state, I'm always in a not that much peaceful. Sometimes when I'm physically ill is the only time when I wake up I'm not happy, and especially if I'm spitting blood, or if I'm, oh, I don't want to go there because they might start again with that. But they still, that's why I got up to report what they did. It's pretty bad anyways. It just because it's a sort of different itching, and it's, all I'm saying is that that letter, I took precautions, but I still got an attack at my door. And even if it wasn't as effective as if I would have just opened the door and grabbed it with my hands and been, hey, how's it going, buddy? I mean, this is the thing, is that a lot of people that are comfortable coming and see me or being around me are paid by the police, or paid, or I say that, but I don't know. Only they know why they do that. Some people just enjoy making shit for me because they see I have confidence, presence, so they say, hey, we can dim his light, just like that short. And that kid said, I think he was, yeah, he was very young. And he says, he goes, that's it. He goes, no matter how good you want to be, and I'm pretty sure he was one chosen. He goes, people seek you out to hurt you. If you ask them why, just like my papers, they cannot even in the papers that they all signed and agreed on lies about future that I would hurt someone. So even in their, but because they can't come up with something, but they can't, but also they don't answer my questions, 0%. Then whatever they come up with, they have punished me. And even though now I want to do a counter complaint, it doesn't work because the whole system is paid by the top dog of the Canadian government. So nothing works. The states is separate entities, sometimes a little bit more than here. Still, it's a corrupt system, the states, as compared to how it was 50 years ago. But I think it was always slated for corruption. Canada, the whole world, not just because now it's just a little more obvious. But like I said, I believe, I feel, I don't believe that the world was always corrupt more than 15,000 years ago. It's like it goes in people that do a bit of the archaeological and the research, the scriptures, different things they find, tablets, this, that. It's not that I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what can I do with my vibration, the part of us that's conscious, that's even more powerful than all these books or Bibles or research or technology, even to hurt people. And this is what I'm saying. What's keeping me sane, basically, because never mind that they write that I'm crazy. That's why it doesn't affect me, because what people call you shouldn't affect you if you know and you have the evidence that it's a nonsense accusation. But never mind the accusations, that's a distraction. Just like when they show the sports activities and soccer and all that, and they were printing all these evil, I think 3 or 4 evil laws. I don't want to get into it. I showed some of it, but it doesn't matter. The CCF, Canadian Constitutional Foundation, is one of the good ones. Not Northern Exposure, something like a there's Redacted is not Canadian, but it covers Canada a lot. Kim Everson is, I think she's Chinese, but she's so cool. Like I said, she's. So everybody covers something. And this guy was saying with the tech from, I don't know if it was a few months ago, but he was saying that China is ruling the United States. Hey, what about Carney has secret meetings with the Chinese premier or whatever, prime minister or president? I don't know how you call the hierarchy in different countries. King, prime minister, and president. Those are the 3 titles, I think, right? So I don't know, because for me, hierarchy does not exist anymore. So it's like you don't feel it. You could still, I try to follow rules, but when the rules are that they have to lie and hurt me every day, and they even print it on paper, those lies, well, then that's when I say that's the line in the sand. It's been crossed. I would be allowed to do so much more than I'm even imagining when I'm frustrated. But then again, can I get away with not hurting them or getting revenge or taking them to court? I'm talking about just staying in a way that I don't die, and in a way that's horribly painful and looks always like as if I'm imagining, or it's a natural disease. You understand? It's like now, oh, he has a natural allergy. If one day I would die like that and they would find me dead with a letter in my hand with no glove, because if I have a glove, I have a chance of surviving. But that's how I started knowing. One time it was someone that used to, like, again, they don't work anymore for Apopex, but they used to bring me letters by force at the door. Look, this letter. And they knew I didn't want that letter. I didn't need that letter. It was about something from a a closet or a service of putting your stock, because most apartments are even smaller than mine. And it's a storage room. That's the word. Because and they gave me the letter, and then you actually see, instead of going with the video and trying to show you things that are hard to prove, the timing. After I got the letter, I got cramps, chest pains, and the day after, or something like, I had like a big bruise, as if I took a bat or something sharp and hit, like where the paper touched my hand, like my wrist, because the hand has a bit of, not calluses necessarily, but you know what I mean. But the sheet with near the forearm, and it was blue. And I have all this. Some of them got erased because they were on different phones from quite a while back. I think I still have some of those. Just things that I would see a horror movie, and I still, even now, if I see someone in a science fiction horror movie saying things that I'm saying, and that's what they bank on, being it's science fiction, it's made up, it's his fantasy. I tell you, everything I just told you, even though I don't know the exact product, has happened. And the vibe I get, it's 100% whatever. It's not one person. Well, in this case, yesterday it was a neighbor that did the delivery. The postman never rings twice. And in fact, yesterday it was one ring. But then it was also a knock at my door that persisted. So what do I do if I get knocks on my door again? I could get letters every day. Even if I go through the trouble of trying to officially say, don't send letters, that's not the way, you know. And me, I was telling the person yesterday, but they go, I can't help you. I don't care. It's like everybody is, I'm just the messenger, you know. Like me, when I tell police, I'm just the messenger of karma. It's similar, police. So I was telling the person, I said, why am I receiving checks through Intercash money, and I'm receiving them by check too? And what would happen to me if I cashed the check? Criminal. I'm telling you, I am so sure of that. Never mind that they're doing that, and they're probably going to ignore, even if now that I say it, they're going to say, yeah, let's go with that, even though. And that's why I'm going to, and even when I try to record the conversation, it's hard to do it because they hack my phone. With this one, I don't know that, but that's the whole point. It's always hacked. No, I am sure they're hacked. Every time I go in, there's something with the company of my phone. I don't want to say it. It's not important, like which phone it is. And it's always harassing me. The police uses any trick and nanny, anything I could do with applications. For me, it's like everybody is extra hacked, and they pay hackers to do it. They even said it on TV. It's like to give me the message, like, yeah. And they give me so many messages through the TV that they could put so many things in my food, in my body, in the air. They could attack me in so many ways. And part of the torture is not only how bad I feel, but that they know that they could always do worse. Not better, worse. So what do I do in this situation? Do I curse? I would be justified. Even if I have a actual physical bomb here now and I'd set it off, would people really blame me? No, I'm asking that question. I'm not, wait a minute. I'm not saying I'm intending to make a bomb, or whether it's a firecracker type or a nuclear or in between. I'm not saying I'm intending to or even wishing a bomb to go off. There is a difference. I say if what they're doing to me is real, which I know it's real, then do you want society to be done what they're doing to me, to everybody? Because I am special. Like, I'm special in attracting shit. We all know that. I've put enough videos about it. But what I'm saying is that if you would really feel like that human kind of tit-or-tat, or Trump and Ukraine and Zelensky and bombing, in that mentality right now, whatever I would do to police or Apopex or neighbors, especially the ones that I'm pretty sure attack me, anything I would do, legal or illegal, would sort of be justified. I'm not saying this to pass a message, or like saying even if I don't say it because I'm not allowed. It's not an indirect threat, and it's just a question. If you were in my place, would you feel like hurting these people, these nice gentlemen, the secret police, neighbors that pretend to be nice to me and attack me? How would you feel towards them? I'm just asking. Sure, for me, it's easy to forgive, but once, twice, 3 times, it's not that it's an accident. They're intentionally hurting me every day. It may not be something fatal. I have to admit, even if I would have used, not put gloves on, but the suffering, the constant torment, if you build it up, now it's 7 years, the psyops, and 4 years psyops, plus these physical products that even cause bruises and cause me to feel feel. Probably it has done something to my heart or my circulation. I don't know because it's not that I'm not a doctor. I don't have tools to analyze this. So, but even if I die from that, people are going to say it's natural causes or my fear or something I didn't do. I should have gone to the doctor. But when I go to the doctor, they attack me in the hospital. I go for my right arm, which they attacked, and they attacked my left arm. So if Trump shits on Canada, or if I would even pray that something bad would happen to, it's like I don't say there's that because it's not one individual. I don't know the name of one person. Now, maybe some people in the building that sort of made, yes, but I don't take it personally. If I wanted to do something, if I was vengeful, the people that know who they are, they would have already seen me, not at their door necessarily, but they would have trust me. The way they track me with the trackers, I would have found a way to get to them. I don't know because I never think about following or hurting people. See, but if I would, like in the if things, it's like saying if I was triggered and if I was human, meaning if I had human lower emotions, wouldn't it be normal for me to want to set off some kind of device, blow up some kind of police station? I don't say this as a threat, police. I'm saying if you were in my place, I could guarantee you that's what you'd be thinking. But I'm not in your place. And I could say it with certain calmitude. I don't wish you any harm. But the warning is that I should wish you harm or I should try to stop you. But even if I would try, how? So this is the how, police. Not with hate, not with cursing, not with wishing, just with saying God interfere because or intervene. It's not interference, it's intervention. You know, when they have an intervention because the person's drunk and out of control or whatever other addiction. So you're addicted to torturing me, whether it's allowed by the Anunnaki demons running the planet or, oh my God, anyways, the light is so pretty, the light that they spot. So this will probably not upload. So I don't even know. I wasted my time because every time it goes over 30 minutes, they just don't let it upload. Hey, sometimes a video of 2 minutes does not upload, or it takes like 10 minutes to upload, or sometimes it doesn't upload at all. It's rare, the little ones, but so because they don't want this info. So what do? I should stop recording. And if it was another phone that they hacked before I bought it, meaning they weaponized and they had different products that it's like Uncle Dinesh, when I actually bought a used phone, I was so stupid. It's like now, but anywhere I go, I'm stupid to eat the food too fast because anything I eat is probably contaminated. And anything I get mail is going to be contaminated with prejudice. So again, what do? This is the thing is, I don't know what to do. And people, please understand, I'm not there meditating every day. Oh, let the world be destroyed. No, let the world live in love or not at all. Meaning, let the world be free. A bit like Moses when he said, let my people be free, him included, obviously. So this is what I tell the police, leave me be. I don't follow and hurt you. So it's a simple demand. It's a simple, actually, order. I order you to cease and desist this persecution. If not, you could have certain karmic consequences. Because anything legal, anything me defending myself, I think would be, it's already prepared. They're already prepared for that. And there's so many of them, even if I could punish one or two. First of all, I don't get satisfaction over punishing even people that deserve it because it just doesn't feel right. Anybody that hurts anybody is still part of God, and it's still part of a delusionary, morbid state of God. Anything that's done, as above, so below, anything that people that eat people alive, babies, like they were saying with the Epstein, or sex slaves and all that, it's done to feed energy. And Ashaya Nadine explained it so well. And now when she explains things, it's not only the meditation techniques that make me see she's talking about something she hooked up on a teaching method or whatever, even if some of it is her imagination. She said it, she goes, even if all this is just our fantasy, doesn't it feel good meditating the way I'm telling you? She was so cool. That lady deserves so much more credit than what she got. She is respected by a lot of people, and some people even turned on her because she sort of changed after a while or evolved in teachings. And whatever you feel about Ashaya Nadine, you cannot say she was a regular person. You cannot say she was a fake. Nobody, even the people that criticized her or do still on the internet, cannot say she was evil or liar. And this is what I could tell when someone's lying. And she said, whoever puts you in power ultimately and tells you the technique, take it or leave it, that's a person. It's not that you could trust them. They're telling you how even don't trust them. Just take the benefits of the things they're saying. Like me, I'm not necessarily saying you should help me, like come at my rescue. Like no one, in a way, no one can rescue me. And this is why a big company and the police are targeting. If they knew they had a chance of being stopped, they wouldn't take a chance on one person that does not bring them territory or deals with the United States. And I don't lower the tariffs, though maybe them not hurting me might. This is everything I say goes back to that. Why did my arm hurt? Instinctually, like it was already injured, like months, years, maybe even when I went to that hospital a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. The Trump, it's over a year for sure. It's closer to a year and a half or closer to a year. I don't know, or over a year and a half. You guys do the day. I can't. I didn't do the math, and right now I'm even wondering if I could have a coffee. Which one is contaminated? Because I've had to throw, because some of them was obvious. Now I think they got more sneaky, because one time I bought a coffee, which was Italian origin, which they knew that product, at a place where I go off, and I put the coffee and I'm like, I drink it and I'm like, ooh. This is how evil works. They will stop at nothing. I think they, just like I said with the welfare, it's almost 100,000 a year, people that are paid to check on a thing. And in my case, they're literally doing the crime for me, meaning they're sending me checks everywhere in the, because they're not big checks anyways. For the pension of work I could not do. So my pension, oh, I know I said it, but this is the whole point. It's not the you know what I'm trying to say. It's the pension that you worked. I never worked, not registered. I did work, but for free practically. Let's be honest. I didn't do maybe 50 hours or 80 hours a week like some people, not even 40 hours a week steady many years. But the times I did work, it was all like practically free work. And the salary was like tripled what I got in the assistance system. So that's just a minor explanation. But the more I explain, the more they have knowledge on how to make more trouble. And the fact that now I explained that they got away with it, even if I use gloves, they say, yeah, let's go bother them more and give them more mail, make it up. And they've done that too. They pretended the mail that was not for my address and they put it in my mail thing. And once I had it and it was like contaminated, I'm not going to start calling and say, oh, bring that back. I'm not going to do any good deeds, because any deed I do is only going to be harmful to me, because it's planned. Anything that happens in my mailbox, despite when it's, never mind when it's literally broken, and then they accuse me of imagining it's broken. It's lies upon lies, and that they will never end. And the torment and the torture. So again, am I justified to wish the end of Montreal or the end of the world? But not wish it like I want to destroy the world, like I want to participate in it. If there is some kind of nuance that there could be nuclear war, do I wish it happens more because of what I'm living? Or actually even Russia sending it on the States and Canada is in between? I think that's the geography. I'm trying to figure it out, how a bomb would fall on Montreal or somewhere in Quebec or Canada. Because again, it's not revenge, it's just justified. It's like, what can I do legally or physically to defend myself? All I could do is, it's almost like, you know, it's like in the past, it's like witchcraft did exist for defense purposes. When someone doesn't have access to weapons, or someone cannot defeat their enemy with martial arts because there's too many of them, even martial arts was part of that. It was a spiritual way to defend yourself. Training the body to go with flow. People that meditated woke up, and almost like the people that the sewing machine and the atom was dreamt, because in dream you're more creative. So going back to my case, what do I do? This is the title of this video. What do I do? Would anybody accuse me of being evil? Some people have actually said, you're mean, you want to meditate for the end of the world. I go, not necessarily the end of the world, but the end of my torment in whatever way. So if this is so powerful and there's no direct karma that can stop them, and I have to be suffering and dying, and everybody knows and nobody gives a beep and nobody does anything, that's in status. So then, can people blame me if I try to push the scales of a timeline where Montreal or Canada or the world it gets into some kind of holocaust that everybody is destroyed, me included. It's not that I wish it. Say, why should I suffer and die for having asked for help and be quiet about it? This is my question to you. Even in a polarized way, it's wrong. But in a spiritual way, even if right now I could forgive, and trust me, I could shut up and forgive police. I could and would or should, different thing. Can I, with my forgiveness, accept? But it's not about accepting to be a martyr. It's not about, even if I would not report this, what they're doing, it wouldn't be about being weak. It would be about saying, well, I don't want the world to end because that's all I could do. I can't take them to court. I can't fight them. All I would do is make me look like all I taught people, all the good things that I explained and all the bad things that are wrong with society. They're going to go, if that guy did that action. But it's not in me to hurt people, even in a defensive way. But in a defensive way, it's allowed. And I hope at some point, if I have to, I will. But will it serve me? No. It was even defending myself, like when people come at me, when people actually punched me. That girl, it was a girl once that shoved me. But if I would have defended myself or pushed her away and screamed at her, I would have got in trouble. So this is the thing is, whatever they do to me is okay. But whatever I do to even escape is still considered a crime. So that's where I say that there is no choice but to really, really like, and the energy I'm giving to this is part of what they want. This is the thing I want to explain to you, a little bit like that young lady that was explaining the Matrix in one of the, I think it was a short, and then there was Bruce Lee at the end. So she was saying, sometimes you're used against yourself or others, and that was really golden information. Again, it could have been a Chinese person or a Martian person saying that, but it doesn't matter. If you saw that shirt, you'll know who it was. I don't know exactly the name of that. I don't know if it was an actor or actress or whatever you want to call it, because now actresses are being called actors. I don't know. Gender, nationality, makes no sense to me. A good person or a bad person. It's as simple as that. Or intent, because doing a bad action could be by some kind of circumstance. Victim of circumstance. I'm not only a victim of I'm a victim of intention, evil intent. They noticed I shine. They noticed I contest the system. It's over for me now, and I have to accept it. There's nothing I could do. There's no amount of karma. There's no amount. Even if I become like a nuclear weapon, they will not stop because they are depending on that corruptive, punishing system, fake lies. Punishing, that's all they know. That's all that they have to deal with. They don't know compromise. They pretend compromise. You think Ukraine or Gaza or Iran could not be achieved? Yes, I'm sure Iran too is not perfect, or Gaza. But I'm pretty sure it's more on the attitude of Trump, Netanyahu, Zelensky. They're all not wanting the peace. I'm just telling you what I feel. And I'm not neither for one side or the other to take the other person's territory, even though originally, as far as the research I saw, Kim Everson, redacted, it's the territory of Gaza. I mean, they invited the Jewish people there, and now they're getting kicked out of their own territory and killed. So it's a little rough situation. If that is true, like I said, all I know is that the Jewish religion, the Catholic religion, the Muslim religion is all corrupted. And there are some people that know the original text, and some of them but even over 3,000 years ago, they were always corrupt. From the research I did from the people I trust. So, and they base books that are religious on reason to kill. So this is why I say religion is an extension of politics. And if you believe and trust people in authority on the planet, then you really don't want to hear me. You really don't want to be on my channel. So this is part of the conclusion. Now it's reaching 54 minutes. I'm still like, I'm with a defensive shield for my health, but I don't know if I don't, because I go exactly like Ashayana Dean says, and I want to correct myself. Sometimes I'm hoping it does like my human side, my suffering side says, hopefully my shielding and my energy to just survive what they're doing to me, never mind be in suffering mode, because they're always there at my door. And I was explaining, and now I finally reported they were actually knocking on my door. Yes, ringing it, and they will never stop. Even if I go answer the door, for them, it's not an attack, meaning it's a secret, cowardly attack. And I'm not saying they can't hurt me in an obvious way, but obviously if they could avoid it, If they could have avoided to be filmed or to security, it's not the to security. I have nothing against them. It's who told them, who forced them, who threatened their job if they wouldn't come and harass me. At least harass me. Whether they were weaponized or not, I can't tell because. So good vibes, like, subscribe, share. Hopefully I'll still be around. Like I said, if I don't make a video this long explaining how kind and how they morphed into someone compassionate and they admit, at least they admit by not hurting me as much or at all, that would be a miracle that they stop torturing and torturing. No, that's all they know. War. What is it good for? Absolutely everything. And I don't know if he's even for the war. Bruce Springsteen was nice in the song. War, what is it good for? Nothing. That's the truth. But is he even for war or not? He could be. You know, what people say and what they do, like I actually do what I say. And when I say I've seen a lot of bad karma to people that hurt me, it's for their protection that I'm saying that. I care about police. I care about people risking their life, ambulance workers, firemen. But why do they care about hurting me or the people impersonating firemen and ambulance techs? You have one on my Stefan something on my subscribers, and I think mine is public. And I think that's why a lot of them, I don't see them because they don't want to be on my public. I think if I close it, I'll get to see. I don't know how it works. Maybe if I put mine private, because I'm curious to see who are over 100 people. Wow. I mean, I don't even know of 10 people that have my channel subscription. But I met some people that were very nice, even though I met them once. Sometimes I meet people and I do like canvassing one-on-one because anything I try to do, advertisement, even when people say paid subscriptions and people might think I'm stingy with giving even $5 to a channel. No, everything for me everything is like a danger to do anything. That's why it's like I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. I can't digitize because that's hacked even more than already being abused or we're being controlled with the system of digitization and internet connection. I'm caught between really and what I'm going through. I think if one day, let's just say one day, I would get fed up and do something, but I wouldn't do it sporadically. I would give people some kind of hints. But then again, they could twist it around and say, look, the guy committed suicide. One day, kill me. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't even have the honesty of telling you one day if I had enough, I'll say, well, okay. And I won't say how I'll do it because you know what I mean, for obvious reasons. But the thing is, there is no escape. And even when you're dead, there's systems to trap your soul and take energy from it. I was never sure about that at the beginning. Not sure. I was never sure. I never researched that. But then again, I never researched that the police would be targeting me. Maybe not helping me a lot, but you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense because I've done nothing to deserve this. But then again, I'm just skipping on repeat. The record is dirty and I don't want to bore people. But if you see something really bad happen in Montreal, well, you know who to blame. Not me, because I wish only good things, but I just wish also the good things to be that they stop. And then again, there's the third clause, just like on the papers when they made the war, no matter what it takes, I want them to stop hurting me. And I'm asking God to actually make it come true now.